Hi, are you a mom of little school-going children but find yourself stuck with them at home during this lockdown? Are you looking for educative resources to engage them as they stay home? Or are you just a mom looking into starting your homeschooling journey with your little one? In this video today, I share with you easy homeschooling resources that will kickstart your journey to great learning. If this is something that you're interested in, keep watching. The easiest thing you can do right now for homeschooling is to do DIY projects. If you have young ones who should have started school last year or this year, what you can do this season is to just do DIY. So what they need to learn basically is the alphabet, numbers, colors, and shapes. So get a chart. If you don't have a chart, get paper and draw the shapes. We all know the alphabet, we know all these things. So draw the shapes, draw the numbers, and start teaching your child as you wait for the time that they go to school. So I'm going to show you some DIY that I did for my girl last year during the first lockdown. We used it and it's what she literally used to learn the alphabet. I used the charts. I used charts and I did things like a shapes. This is a heart. I have an oval. We have circle and the like. Then we also did numbers. You see, letter U. We have this. We have this. So I use this, and this is what I used to teach her. I would just wake up in the morning, start our class by praying, then I'll tell her, Tia, this is letter Y. Y says, yeah, this is uppercase Y and this is lowercase y. Just that. That's all we learned per day. We used to take a letter per week or until she got it. So every day I'll teach her, this is letter A. A says something like that, and until I was sure that she's grasped it, then I would move on to the next letter. There's no rush, and our lesson sometimes used to take just 10 minutes. So don't feel pressured to study the whole day the way the child studies well at school. No, homeschooling is different. You can study for 5 minutes and you don't have to be seated all upright. But you know the way they be at school. Your child can learn while they are sitting, while they are sleeping, whatever way works for your child, as long as you're sure that they're grasping information. So yeah, there's that DIY I showed you. We did the DIY for letters, numbers, shapes, and colors. So you can do that at home. You can use normal paper, just plain paper, using a chart. In order to make this interesting for the child, just paint it colorfully. Like use different colors to keep it interesting. You see here I used green, I used yellow, I used black, I have some blue here. So it allows that it's captivating for the child. So make it interesting. Don't make them plain. You know, little children like bright things. So just use different colors to make it interesting, as you see here. So yeah, teach your child that way. By the time lockdown is over, your child's brain will have been engaged throughout and they'll be able to catch up quickly. Another easy way that you can teach your children in this season is to use apps on the phone. There are so many great apps, educative apps on the phone, which are actually free, that you can tap into in this season. We like to use Khan Academy Kids. Guys, it's like a whole kindergarten curriculum there. It's very interesting. There are things like Cocomelon. They will be doing songs, but when they're teaching the alphabet, colors, numbers, shapes, virtues, and all these other things that your child needs to learn. So buy your data, download apps. You can even just Google educational apps for littles, for young children, and you'll get a variety of apps. Look through them and get what works for you or what interests your child, and then teach them. Do not allow your child to wake up, sleep, eat, watch TV the entire 42 days. Get them engaged. Let them learn with their brain new things. Yeah, most of these apps have YouTube channels, so go there on YouTube, type in nursery rhymes or educational things. You'll find things like Cocomelon. YouTube has a version for children which is called YouTube Kids. So on YouTube Kids, all the apps there are tailored for children, but you still have to look through them and be sure that your child is consuming safe information. So get there. There's Baby Joy, there's Lingo Kids, there's Super Simple, There are just so many. In fact, you may get overwhelmed. So just look through, get what works for you and your child. Use the internet. Don't just use the internet to scroll through social media for entertainment. Use it for you and your child to learn new things. And this is a great resource for visual and auditory learners, because while using the app, there's going to be music and there's going to be something to see. So children who learn through those ways will be able to learn amazingly. You'll thank me later. Another thing that you can use the internet for is to get craft ideas for your little one. Kids love to get creative, to play around with things and create things. So if you're having like craft lessons, use the internet, use YouTube especially. There are channels that are just a blessing to me. We like to use Miss Monica. It's Circle Time with Miss Monica. Amazing. I love her from the bottom of my heart because she's our source for craft ideas. So I think each day is themed. Wednesday is craft day, so I love craft day. This is a craft we did with my daughter. It's a wagon. It already got torn because kids. So imagine we were able to do this. She was so excited. Every time we're doing a craft lesson, she's just saying, "Mommy, are we going to stick?" Because we used glue to stick these elements together. So on that day, we were learning about letter W. We said W says wa, and then we did an item that starts with letter W. So there are so many craft ideas on YouTube. Make use of them. Finish your man of the data by getting things for your children. Do not let lockdown pass you by. Now you are just eating, sleeping, and exercising. So craft ideas, amazing. There are so many channels that can give you craft ideas. Kids love to do crafts. And even interesting way that you can teach your children this season is through the toys that they already have. I am very intentional on the kind of toys that I buy for my children. They must be learning best. Like, it can be fun, but also allow the child to learn something. So this is a toy, but it can help in learning. You see, it has a triangle, it has square, and it has circles. So when a child is playing, I sometimes sit down with them and say, "You see, this is a circle, a blue circle," and put it back. You also have to, she will learn how to put this there. These are cognitive skills. She also has to think and say, "Okay, this is a circle. Where is it going to go? Is it going to go here?" And area for triangle or circle. So she's engaging her brain. She's thinking. She's going to learn shapes. And she's learning colors. So look, if you already have such toys, I know they're everywhere. If you already have such toys, use them. Make the most of them. Finish your money. We also have another toy. I think I'll put the picture somewhere here or there, whatever. I'll show you. It has the alphabet, numbers, shapes, and colors, and just has an area for also learning motor skills. So use the toys that you have at home. Look through, even if you don't have this, there's something that you have. If you have a car, look at the color, look to see if the color, if you have a car at home, for example, I know most kids usually have something like that. Look at the color of the car and teach her that color. Look at the colors of the blocks that they are playing. Sometimes their toys are in different shapes, so use that opportunity to say, "You see, this your toy is in oval shape or it's in diamond shape." The child will learn without even putting any effort. Like, it won't feel formal. Informal learning can be amazing because the child is not on pressure. They think they are playing, but while they are consuming new information. I want to show you other toys. I think everyone has blocks. I imagine most parents have blocks. So I got these learning blocks from my friend Vivian. She sells kids toys, and these ones have letters. These have letters. So I'm currently using these with my 4-year-old. We are learning how to read. So I just get, like, we are learning simple words like cat, mat. So I just get C-A and T, and then we are pronouncing as I say cat when they are together and say cat. These are great. We also build towers. You know how those kids building their towers. We also build towers like this until it becomes too high and falls. Learning is beyond classroom learning. Sometimes you have to teach your child principles about life, virtues, and things like that. So the toys that they're playing with a great tool and conversation opener for great learning lessons. We also have a variety of the other blocks. These are just simple blocks, but they have animals. See, they have animals. These I use with my little one, the 1-year-old. I keep showing her, this is a crocodile, this is a zebra, a lion, cat, monkey, things like that. While we are putting them each other, sometimes we say, let's look for all the blocks that have monkeys. So now the child marching. So she will, this is basic. Say, let's look for all the blocks that have monkeys and put them here. So that is marching. In the classroom, it would be marching. So she looks for all the blocks, and it's fun, especially when you're with mommy. You know, it is a joy for children for mommy to pause and come and spend time with them. Or sometimes we say, okay, let's look for all the blocks that have color green. And then that's still matching, but now we are focusing on colors, things like that. So if you have blocks, use them up. Don't just let them mess up your living room or the kids' play area. Use them for your child to learn. So another thing that we are currently using to learn is puzzles. I'm a bit distracted here because I want to show you the puzzles and they're not together, but just these simple word puzzles. I got this from Zenana, very cheap, and we're using them with my older one to match. So this is a picture of a cat. If you see, this is the picture that we are creating, and there are different puzzle pieces. So this one helps to, I think, develop the child's IQ. She has to figure out, you remember, we also did this thing. So she has to figure out which puzzle fits where, and then create this picture. First of all, it will keep them engaged for a while. If you want like a breather and a little space from them, you know how momming can be. If you want a break from them, give them a puzzle. Of course, you have to have taught them earlier. If this is a small puzzle, I think about 15 pieces at most, and it will keep them engaged. It's colorful, so you can even use it to teach colors. There's a shape, I know, teach whatever you want to do, but this is great. So we have two, and I think they are also cartoon themed. I think this for the duck is themed basing on 3 yellow ducks swimming in the water. So when they see this, my little neck saying, mommy, yellow duck swimming in the water. So you see, we are connecting the dots, and then when we are learning about water, we are learning about flowers, the colors of the duck, the body parts. We're saying, where are the eyes, where is the mouth, things like that. So yeah, if you have puzzles, this would be a great way of engaging the children. It may look informal, but trust me, they are learning. Their IQ is growing and developing, and they're able to connect different dots, and this will help later on in problem solving. Yeah. Or something else that we are using to learn in this season are flashcards. If you have access to flashcards, there's so many places you can get them. But if you don't have access to them, I'll leave you. I told you about my friend who sells them, so I could leave her contact and you reach out to her. So we are using flashcards. These we have these. So this is X, and then it shows you a word that starts with X and then a picture behind. So for children that are visual learners, this is a very great resource, because they're able to see what they are learning instead of just being there, like just hearing it without seeing it. But when you're saying X-ray, they're able to see a hand X-ray. Then this is a helicopter, this is a tiger, things like that. There's this is still S. Then this is uppercase and lowercase. So when you're trying to teach a child to differentiate between uppercase and lowercase, these help. Yeah, uppercase, lowercase. And then they have really nice pictures I can show you here. Girl, kangaroo, robot, nurse, queen, apple, igloo, octopus, socks. So you can actually use these to teach a child, like just pictures, to learn names of things, naming animals. You say this is a watch, this is a car or a van, things like that. So if you have access to flashcards and you had kept them somewhere, this is the time to get them out and use them to learn with your child. You know what? The more you do this with your children, at first it's hard, but it gets interesting. I'm telling you guys, it gets interesting. and becomes even an opportunity for you to bond with your little ones. Sometimes our brains are programmed to think that learning is only about classroom stuff, but really learning is about life. Kids are able to learn about different things. So during this lockdown, if you cannot access the classroom, use the things that are at home to teach your child. This is the time to teach your child about virtues before they've previously been spending a lot of time at school. So now teach them about virtues like kindness, honesty, love, care, politeness, things like that, sharing, using real life lessons at home. You be kind to them. When you're kind to them, they are watching and they are learning. And so you're teaching by just living out your life before them without really putting in much effort. You want to teach them about politeness, be polite. You want to teach them about caring and loving each other, care and love for them. They are watching you and they are going to imitate you. So that is an easy way of teaching your child without first programming it. No, just do life with them. Be loving, compassionate, caring, kind. Your children are watching this, especially the little ones below 6. They are watching and they are going to definitely emulate what you're doing. And so do life with them. They'll be learning still. Guys, another way that you can teach your children in this season is because you're home also, do housework with them. So this is what I do when we are washing utensils with my children. First of all, it's messy. I agree. Like, I'm not as fast as I am. It's not as fast as I am when I'm doing it alone, but it's an opportunity for me to teach. So I'm willing to make the sacrifice. When we are washing cups, we shall identify the color of cups. When we are washing plates, we will identify the color and the shape. So they are learning how to work, but I'm also reminding them the things that they should be learning, like shapes, colors. I'm teaching them how to be careful with the breakable items that we are washing. I'm teaching them about cleanliness, because sometimes one can rinse and then there's still soap. You tell her, no, put it back and cover the entire area so that there's no soap. So through housework, if they are mopping, for example, if they are mopping tiles, your child may never have observed that your tiles are in a particular shape. So point it out to them. Teach them how to think about things and be observant. Ask her, is this a diamond shape or a square shape of the floor? Things like that. Ask them about the color of the walls in case you're cleaning them. The window, the burglar proof, like sometimes has different shapes and colors. So point out those things to them and teach them. It's normal home life, but if they are able to open their eyes and their minds, there's so much that your child will learn by just being at home. Even when they're dressing up, point out what colors their clothes are, point out the wording on their clothes. If they can read, ask them to read it. No more things like that. Your child will be learning, their brain will be engaged. So it's a win-win, a simple win-win. Another way that we learn through home life and housework is, for example, when we are washing like fruits and vegetables. You know, these fruits and vegetables can be colorful. So if you're washing tomatoes, you are saying, oh, this is a tomato, it's color red. Sometimes if I have the time, we shall count the tomatoes. We are now counting up to 20. So we shall count them and say 1, 2, 3, 4. Then if you're washing, like for example, an eggplant has a different shape. It's oval, it's like a cylinder, so you're able to introduce different things. This way you're even teaching them about vegetables. Amazing ways. If you're washing mangoes, it will be a different color. If you're washing, I don't know what, carrots, different things. So we can learn, so that children can learn while working. One final way, which is very critical, that the children can actually learn, is through the books that they already have at home. Most of the children, I think by age 2, have some books that you have bought for them. So use them this time to learn. I have a couple for my children. They are used very often, so they look well loved, as you can see. So this is for animals. I have tiger, ox, mouse, and I use them to teach the young one, for example, about different animals. I have another one for numbers. If you see, we are counting 1 cat, 2 dogs, gifts, children, up to number 10. Yeah, so they are learning different objects, but also learning about numbers. And it's just really like relatable things. See this child, the girls are usually intrigued by this child covering their face and all. Their bags, chair, everyday things. so they are very relatable. There's also sweets, which can be very captivating for the kids. So this is a numbers book. We have the colors book. Basic. These books were not more than, they are very cheap in different bookshops, though I know you may not be able to get them right now if you're not moving. So just use what you have. You can always learn with what you have. I have Bolito books, still about toys, just covering different topics about toys. And this is about food, so the child is able to learn different types of food. There's bread, there's ice cream, cookies, chocolate, juice, milk, just different things. So use them up and have a wonderful experience with your children. I hope I was able to give you some valuable tips on how to keep your children engaged this season. Share in the comment section what you're doing, what more we could learn, and how you're keeping your children engaged. For more of these videos about parenting and family life, subscribe and hit the notification button so that you get an alert every time I post a video. Thank you for watching. Stay blessed. Bye.